I made a garden plan back in January, and I talked about moving this greenhouse, turning it 90 degrees, and then just tucking it at the very end of the garden area over here. The dilemma has always been, what do I do with the raised bed inside that's full of soil? How do I move that? So then I just got back from Eugene, Oregon, here to Wrangell, Alaska, and I noticed that, the sun was hitting the greenhouse. It was really warm inside the greenhouse. The compost that I'd spread out inside there was all dry, and so was the sand and soil on top of the garden bed that I had put those materials there so that I could make soil for starts. And so Tyler had a great idea. He said, why don't we just build a garden bed out here, and then I can just go ahead and dig the soil out of that raised bed inside the greenhouse, take a wheelbarrow, move it over into the new bed, and then we can lift up this greenhouse and move it over top of the bed over here. So I thought that was a great idea, and what I started doing was like, okay, let's get the snow that accumulated on the greenhouse on this side off so that hopefully we can unfreeze the greenhouse from the ground so we could be able to lift it up and move it. And then I also shoveled away the snow in about a 14-foot by 20-foot area. The greenhouse is 10 by 20 feet. So then, that would be the plan. I would go ahead and move the greenhouse over into this area. But I made a discovery today in the greenhouse that is going to definitely change this plan, or at least slow it up. So there are a number of interesting things here. I got to kind of digging around in the greenhouse. I've got it all cleared out. The bags of compost are frozen solid. And even though the sand and the soil on top here is not frozen, you just go a little bit farther down and the soil beneath is frozen. And the compost that I spread out isn't frozen either. So so that's cool. I can sit here and I can make soil for starts. But if we were to make a bed out there, my plan was to shovel this into a wheelbarrow and get it out there. So there's no way that I can't do it, which is kind of cool. Because there's been a little bit of pressure. It's like, oh my gosh, wow, this is really great. The greenhouse is heating up. I gotta, think about getting things planted. I gotta go. In the video that I did before about trying to make transplant soil in the fall, that didn't work out because I couldn't get things dry. Well, I've already got the peat moss started. I've got the soil going. So the next thing I need to do is sift the compost through my mesh screen. I noticed that I had my shirt buttoned up wrong, and I've got this roll of toilet paper in my pocket so that I can blow my nose. So fucking cool, man. Okay, so we're gonna do compost, and I'm just gonna sift it through the bucket. Sift it through the mesh into the bucket. There's just so many little pieces of sticks in here. So I got this compost last season because I hadn't made any compost, and it's from the Seattle municipal waste. So it's like their landscaping waste, brush and whatever else people bring in, plus their food scraps and stuff. And so there's a lot of, just twigs and stuff in here. like so much of it is just twigs. And so that's what I end up with when I put this through. So what I get in the bucket is actually pretty decent compost, and it seems to have worked really pretty good for starts last season. Okay, all we have left is rocks and sticks. So I already threw one full bucket of sifted compost here, so the recipe calls for a little over a bucket of compost, so I'm just going to throw the rest of this on here. And next we'll do sand. We've got peat moss, we've got soil, we've got compost, so I need to sift sand through here. And what does my recipe call for? One bucket of sand. I heard the sound outside the greenhouse. I thought it was a person walking in the snow or something. It's a deer. Okay, that's more cozy, yeah? Easier to reach the sand. This is way easier because it just kind of falls through the mesh. We're just gonna throw this bucket on top. Sand. Okay, so I've got peat moss, soil, compost, sand in here, and I need 1/2 cup of lime and 1.5 cups of just a basic fertilizer. Tomato and vegetable food. Leftover from years ago. There we go. So then what I normally do is I take the shovel and just kind of coarsely mix it, and then I take the charp and I just kind of yank it around. You get the idea. I do that a bunch of times until it's really mixed really well.